Hey guys, check it out! You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube! Oh no! Those of you who have been with me from the very beginning since the inception of Descendants should know at least by now that I share a very emotional connection with the fans of both Descendants and Zombies, because these franchises have undeniably brought us that much closer together and made us the best of friends. So many wonderful people, no matter who you are watching this video tonight, have become friends because of Descendants and Zombies, because of this close-knit bond that you've formed, where you've seemingly became inseparable. And that is the one thing that I love so much about all of you, because from within this niche, the most incredibly supportive and most lovable people are seen. Every single time that we watch Descendants or that we talk about it, there are so many incredible people who have their hearts touched, either by a favorite character they have, a favorite moment they've always taken away from the special moments that we've shared in from being fans of Descendants and Zombies. No matter what your reason is for being a fan of Descendants and Zombies, I want you to know that that's cool and that's alright by me, because if you're a fan of collecting the dolls, the Descendants and Zombies merch, which we've all sacrificed a great deal to have and experience, no matter what your reason is for being a fan of Descendants and Zombies, I think that's so cool, man, and that's what's always made you the person that you are. And I think that that's what I really enjoyed so much about creating videos about Descendants and Zombies, is having the power to resonate with far more people than ever before. Do you guys remember the night that Descendants first became a part of all of our lives and we were introduced to this story? I think that that night was the night that we knew that our lives were about to change. My life especially changed because I dedicated the rest of my life to uploading videos about Descendants and Zombies, and you guys think I've had any regrets or I haven't looked back since? Sure I haven't, because all of you have always deserved far better reviews than what you've been watching on YouTube, at least for the last 10 years. And what I mean by better reviews are reviews where something was always nice said about your favorite stars such as Kylie and Freya and Malia, who have been incredibly supportive of not only each other, but been incredibly supportive of all of you. That is something that's undeniable about this new franchise, is that there are people within this franchise that are incredibly supportive of all of you. I mean, years ago, everybody knew who Zac Efron was. Everybody was identified through Vanessa Hudgens. The characters Troy Bolton and Gabriela Montez would go on to hold a very special place in our hearts. But I think that these characters of this new generation that we are experiencing together are far more relatable than any characters that we've seen, any characters or stars who brought them to life of the past generation. Because this is really the last of a generation. Disney will never see stars quite like this ever again. And deep within their hearts and all of our hearts, we know that is true. I think Descendants and Zombies are the first franchises that really have promoted a chance of something lasting for forever, and that's really given us something special to hold on to. And that's something I've held close to my heart for a very long time. Because to be honest with all of you, I've never wanted to say goodbye. I've never wanted to let go, so why should we? I think there are far too many people who often create these videos who are trying to put a damper on all of our hopes and offer us criticism about stars like Red and Chloe, who are still relatively new. That is the thing we've got to understand, is that their stories are still relatively new and they still have a long way to go. How can you tell a story about these beautiful characters who are new to the franchise in just one chapter? The answer to that question is you really can't. So if you believe that Descendants 6 is going to happen and this is going to be the beginning of a brand new trilogy, then you should continue to believe that and continue to follow your passions. Because your passions are what's led you to being the fans of Descendants and Zombies that you are. Why do you guys think that you love the Worlds Collide tour? Because you knew it was a moment that was going to never last for forever, and you just wanted to embrace the moment. You wanted to cherish these moments with your friends that you probably went to the tour with, your family who sacrificed a great deal for you to have the chance to experience this. I know, because I saw so many people so proud to post videos of themselves getting their hands on tickets for the Worlds Collide tour, and Leg 2 is going to be something so far phenomenal, nothing far from phenomenal, that we've ever seen. And I want you guys to go, despite all the critics that you will see at the tours in attendance. I want you guys to go, and I want you to have the time of your life. That's all I've ever wanted from you guys, is your appreciation for Descendants and Zombies to grow stronger, and your passions for Descendants and Zombies to grow stronger. Because within these franchises, I see a lot of power. I see a lot of strength, and I see more chances than ever before for you guys to achieve your dreams, because there's no greater feeling in the world than you feeling achieving your dreams and appreciating the moments that these dreams create, that these dreams have led you to, because we're all following a path in our lifetime. We may never realize it, but we are all following a path, and that path leads us to us achieving our dreams and setting goals for ourselves. And I think that we see that inspired through the story of Descendants of Zombies, because all Red ever wanted to do was paint the town red. I love that hoodie, by the way, that says Paint the Town Red on it. I wish I had it, honestly, on display here on this channel. The Descendants of Zombies merch, I know, in saying that, the Descendants of Zombies merch, I know, has received its fair share of criticism, but it is beautiful merch. It is by far the most beautiful merch that I've ever seen for a Disney Channel franchise to ever promote. I think the Hannah Montana merch was very revered because of how iconic Miley Cyrus played that character, but I think the Descendants merch really steals the show and forever holds a very special place in all of our hearts, because no matter who we are, we all want a piece of the action. We all want a piece of that merch. And honestly, guys, the Descendants of Zombies merch will forever and always hold a very special place in my heart, as too will your favorite characters, because of what they taught me, the appreciation of life and just how to appreciate the people that you have in your life. Because the people that you have in your life become some of your very best friends. And those friends are what helps you carry through your life, helps you make sense of everything going on around you. Because no matter who we are, we all have that one annoying friend who never quits on us, who's always and forever there for us, who always leads us the way, who always becomes our light out of darkness. And that's really what to appreciate about life, are the friends that kind of come into our life without ever any explanations being offered. And that's what makes life so special. I know for many of you, you may not realize this, but many of you became my best friends because of how I could tell you stories, how I could really tell you everything, how I could inspire you through the power of video creation, because YouTube has seen so many incredible advancements over time where we could never go live 10 years ago, but now we can. Our videos can be longer than 10 minutes, so we have more of a chance to be storytellers that we've always wanted to be. Now, many content creators don't look at it that way, but I always have, because I saw a time in appreciating stories told by Cinderella. I saw a time in appreciating stories told by Alice from Alice in Wonderland, because they were really beautiful characters, and oftentimes they were overshined by people that were creating characters such as Elsa and Anna, Rapunzel from Tangled. I think these iconic stories should be legendary, should forever and always remain legendary, and should be told 1,000 times over to give people a chance to become reintroduced to what Cinderella and Alice truly meant to their stories and truly meant to Disney, because Disney's version of these stories are stories that stole our hearts, just as the stories about the VKs and the AKs are currently doing. I think this new cast of Descendants, I know they've been compared to the original cast, and people have said that the new cast has nothing on the old cast, because the old cast are OGs, and they're what made Descendants special. And without a doubt, you're right, the original cast made Descendants special. The original cast made Descendants stand out for the obvious reasons. The powerful story about love and friendship and just how true love can be obtained by everybody. But what's also made Descendants special are the new characters, the new cast that has held a very special place in the hearts of the new fans of Descendants, who are going back on Disney Plus and watching Descendants for the first time to kind of be caught up on what Descendants meant to a generation past. And while that generation may have passed us by, we have a new generation of stars and a new cast to be far more appreciative of than we ever were of the originals. I think that the original cast pretty much has closed the book on their story, because they believe their story had been told and completed 1,000 times over. But this story, the beautiful thing about this story is it keeps on going, and we never seem to know what the future has in store. And that's what's made this story and my chance to share with you my version of it so special for me, because it gave me a chance of meeting all of you. It gave me a chance of being a part of something special, which is something I always wanted to be, was a part of something so special. And I had the chance to be a part of something so special with all of you, because I had the chance to share a story with you that I never imagined would go on to be so well received. I never imagined that my story would be so well accepted and highly accepted and revered by thousands of people who love Descendants of Zombies with all of their heart. So I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to those of you who have been with me from the very inception of this YouTube channel, and those of you who are new to this YouTube channel, which I promise you will give you something special to take away from each time that you watch it. Because if you've ever wanted to hear something nice about your favorite stars, I promise that I will be that one guy who will forever dedicate the rest of his life to uploading videos about Descendants and Zombies. I will always be that one guy who will always be right there with you to have these dedicated conversations about Descendants and Zombies, who actually knows what he's talking about when it comes to these franchises, who actually believes in these franchises with all of his heart. The thing is about these videos that you guys watch in terms of reviews about Descendants and Zombies are people who review Descendants and Zombies are actually watching Descendants and Zombies for the first time in their life. So as a result of that, they can't really compile a really great review that touches your heart. They can't really give you something special to take away from their videos, which is the advantage that I've always possessed, is the advantage to give you something special to believe in, something special to take away from every video, because I've actually watched these franchises, and I actually appreciate them. I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that Clarke and Malia Baker are well on their way to becoming Disney legends. If we can have these conversations about people like Miley Cyrus and Ashley Tisdale all the time. I saw an article about Ashley Tisdale playing 3 iconic characters, one of them being Sharpay Evans from High School Musical, the other being Candace from Phineas and Ferb, and of course Natty from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. We hear these conversations about these same people all the time being in the conversation to become Disney legends. So why can't we just have these same conversations about Clarke Cantrell and Freya Sky and give them more of a reason to believe in themselves? There are so many people out there who feel very different, obviously, about Descendants and Zombies, and they want more than anything in this life to have their opinion heard. And sometimes their opinions are not opinions that we want to hear. We don't want anything to do with it. We just want to hear something nice about their favorite stars. So as content creators, why can't we just give them that to people who believe in it so much, really believe in it with all their heart? I always wanted to be that one guy who would become everybody's favorite content creator, at least have a slight chance of becoming everybody's favorite content creator, because he believed in these characters and their stories just as much. Freya Sky loves sharing with you the story about being 5 years old and learning karaoke and singing Descendants songs with her dad, which I think is really cool. I have a lot of fond memories of me and my dad when we used to play Super Nintendo video games back in the early 90s, and I never forgot any of them. There are so many stories that I could tell you guys about how we used to play Donkey Kong together, and as crazy as that sounds, playing Donkey Kong together, it allowed us to bond. So if you are somebody who watches Descendants and Zombies with your parents and you bond over it, I think that's really cool. There's a lot of special things and special moments found within that I see in that, and it gives me a greater appreciation for Descendants and Zombies. So why am I going to come on here and take it upon myself to criticize Freya, to criticize Kali? That's not going to get me anywhere with them or with all of you. I just wanted to be a cool guy who believed in a zombie apocalypse or an alien invasion happening, because I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I thought it was so cool how a lime soda nation exploding could turn everybody into zombies, or how a pocket watch could take you back in time and now you're faced with the consequences of your time-traveling adventure, which is something we're going to see for the first time ever in Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland. I've always wanted to take myself up with the opportunity to go back in time to tell more people that I love them, to fix some of the mistakes, because as I've openly admitted to all of you on this show, I am far from perfect, but aren't we all? I think that I've always believed that everybody is created equal and everybody deserves an equal opportunity to shine. Not outshine everybody, but shine. So if you love singing, if you love dancing, if you love playing video games, if you love collecting Descendants and Zombies doll, and I mean every Descendants and Zombies doll, more power to you. I want to encourage that. And I want to put it out there that I think that's really cool. If you watch Descendants and Zombies, if never a million times, at least 1,000, I think that's the coolest thing in the world. If you are somebody who supports the friendship between Freya Sky and Malachi Burton as the characters Victor and Nova and see something special within it, them carrying on the story of the Zombies franchise, then I think that's really cool. If you're somebody who prefers the original story of Zed and Addison because they always wanted to spend the rest of their lives together, that's what I found unique about that story. No matter what they were faced with, adversity stared them in the face more times than often enough in the Zombies franchise, but even with the controversy that was presented to them by werewolves and even aliens, and now mermaids and sirens and everything else thrown in there, that's what makes this so special. is that no matter what they were faced with, they always wanted to have the chance and saw the chance of them spending the rest of their lives together. It kind of reminds me of the story between Corey and Topanga from Boy Meets World many years ago back in the early 90s. From the very first moment we saw Boy Meets World, all Corey and Topanga ever wanted was to have the chance of spending the rest of their lives together. And when they finally had that chance, by the time Girl Meets World was released as a spin-off series in 2014, that's what made that series so beautiful, is that all they ever wanted was to spend the rest of their lives together, like many Disney princess classic stories, like Beauty and the Beast, for instance. I know that story has been criticized more often than enough for how the Beast treated Belle, and that's all anybody ever looked at that franchise for having done. But once they realized their appreciation for each other was far greater than anything they had ever imagined, they quickly realized that they were meant for each other, and they stuck together like glue, and that's what made them inseparable and made them want to spend the rest of their lives together as the king and queen of that story. So too did Prince Charming and Cinderella, becoming one of the most revered Disney classics of all time. And by the way, I think that Chloe Charming's portrayal of Cinderella's daughter was beautifully done. Nobody could have ever done it better. And by the way, guys, I think she is really beautiful. I think Malia Baker is one of the most beautiful characters who I never seem to give enough credit to, but if I had my time back, I probably would have. And I promise you guys that if you're fans of Malia, I will give her the praise she deserves in upcoming video blogs on this YouTube channel, because we have a long way to go. Because the way I choose to look at this story is far from over, and why should it be over? Because there are far more people out there who believe in Descendants of Zombies with all of their heart. There are far more people who have never wanted to let go, who have never wanted to say goodbye. So I'm just presenting you with the chance to never have to say goodbye and always cherish these moments through the videos I've created. Because nobody knows as much about Descendants of Zombies as what I do. But the fans do, because the fans are very dedicated. But when it comes to journalists and critics, there is nobody out there, because I'm far from a critic. There is nobody out there who knows as much about Descendants of Zombies as what I've come to know, love, and certainly appreciate over time. Because time is the most precious thing we have. Why is that, you may be wondering? Because we never seem to know how much time we have, or that we're left with. So I think we can use the time that we've been allocated to appreciate Descendants of Zombies, and to ensure the legacies of your favorite stars in so many special ways. But I can't do that without you. I can't do that without you hitting my subscribe button, or hitting my like button. So if you could take the time to hit my like button and show me appreciation for Descendants of Zombies, I would truly love you for forever. Thank you so much for having watched this video and having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel, because it means more to me than words could ever say. Thank you so much for always being passionate about Descendants of Zombies and having a very special place in your hearts for your favorite characters, because this story is far from over, and we still have a long way to go, and I can't wait to get there with all of you. Thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time. And as always, thank you so much for having watched these videos.